it's doing at the moment, which is expanding its territory
Mm-hmm.
and growing, and we start employing new people, which is always good in a recession. Start employing people, and bringing in new customers and just growing.
And growing and expanding and bringing in new customers. And is there anything else about expanding like that?
Is there anything else about expanding like that? Well, I guess we need to do it in a measured way and not just grow so that we overgrow and implode then.
Yeah.
We need to do it carefully and properly and with a certain level of management and restraint, and not just hire 20 new people because we think there might be something there and suddenly there isn't. But actually build it properly, I guess, on good grounds.
Build it properly on good grounds and manage, restraint. And when build it properly, let's build it like what?
Well, build it like a house.
Like a house.
Yeah, it's got to be sitting on a proper foundation, and it's got to be warm and cozy inside. Actually, that's important because it's got to be a nice place for people to want to come. So when you are employing new people, they got to see your house and go, actually, it looks good in there. So I'll be happy to come and live there for a while.
And nice and cozy and a good foundation and that kind of house. Is there anything else about the foundations of that kind of house?
They need to be rock.
Rock.
Rock, yeah.
What kind of rock?
Granite.
Granite.
Yeah, solid. Definitely experienced and able to take the weight.
Solid granite, able to take the weight. Is there anything else about those granite foundations able to take the weight?
Well, at the moment it's kind of starting to look a bit like a mountain. Well, I don't think we need a mountain to support this house. We need, we just need, and we need enough rock to support the house.
Yeah.
We don't need a whole mountain's worth. So it needs to be the right size for the house. I guess that will mean that at some stage we might need to add more rock to the foundation so that the house can be built higher.
And add more rock. Whereabouts add more rock?
Depends what direction you want to build the house. Maybe you want to build out, so you want to add more rock to one side.
Which side?
Well, in my mind, it's the right hand side right now. So to build the right wing, to add new rooms to the house to make it more interesting.
So you add more at the right hand side, and then add more rooms, make it more interesting.
Yeah.
And then what happens to cozy and comfortable?
Well, you got to. That's an interesting thing, because if you make the house bigger, it mightn't be so cozy anymore, and mightn't be as comfortable as it once was. But as long as it is still comfortable, and as long as the foundation is still there, that's important. It's an interesting metaphor, but I'm not.
And when the foundation's there, like that, and can grow out to the right wing and add more rooms, and it needs to be measured and managed. Is there anything else about that, measured and managed, when you build a house like that?
Well, from the building of the house, we need, and measuring the foundation so that it will support the right growth of the house, and knowing there's also measuring the right time to lay the foundation, to put on the extra wings.
Right. And that right time, what
now it's the right time when it's getting very cozy because things are very tight and people are feeling under pressure and need more room. And we know there's more people coming into the house, so we need places for them.
So it gets very tight, and you know there's more people coming in, you need places for them. And then what happens?
Then you have to start designing wings, and you probably have to have an argument about who's getting the new rooms.
And designing wings. Where could designing like that come from?
It's from our heads. It's from our imaginations, but and our experience.
Your imaginations and your experience and foundations and experience. Is there a relationship between the foundations experience and the experience in your heads?
Yeah, because the experience to know the right foundations will help as well with the same experience that knows what size of add-ons you need to put onto the house, and will know what type of foundations, what size foundations, what's the right foundation to put down to build the extra wings.
And then what happens?
Then things continue to grow, and it's built out the back.
You built out the right, then you build out the back.
The extended kitchen goes on.
And then what happens?
And then the conservatory, obviously.
So what's the first thing that needs to happen for those foundations?
The architects need to agree.
What kind of architects need architects?
Those architects are the ones who are designing the house, and the architects know how to build houses, and they believe that they know what the right way to build this house is. But what they are, they're designing different houses, so they need to build the same house.
Right. So we need to agree
They need to agree on the right house.
on the right house.
And when they've agreed on the right house that will sit on the right foundations, then that house can be built and grow. There is a house there,
Yeah.
it may need to be shored in. And then it can grow, because it may not, if it doesn't, if they don't agree on the right way to build the house, then the house is going to fall in.
So what kind of house is it at the moment?
At the moment, it's a very pleasant looking house on the outside, but on the inside, there's the kids are arguing.
And it could fall down.
And it could fall down. At the moment, the foundations are quite solid, and the parents are in agreement mostly, but with the occasional fight and disagreement. But unless they decide on exactly what the final house is going to look like, or well, maybe not the final house, but the interim house, before we start to add on the wings, because we can't add on the wings until we finish this house.
Right.
So it's only half a house really at the moment. It's a shanty, but it's a very nice shanty, and it's a very pleasant shanty to be in for a lot of people. But there is a little bit of pressure, and we need to let that go and let the house be built properly.
And all of that, and the house is built properly. You go from a shanty to a house, proper foundations, and different wings, and out the back, and the conservatory.
Yeah.
When all of that, is that an okay place to stop this for now?
That's a fantastic place. That was quite a pleasant experience, because it was just letting go of and not really thinking, but it kept having to bring myself back to what I was trying to think about, which was the problem in hand. But I didn't start off thinking about a house. The house just happened.
Yeah.
And I just and then it seemed like it was suddenly on top of a mountain, but I then said, no, I don't need a mountain, I just need the right size. And there it was, and that's the right house, but it just needs to be built properly. And but yeah, that was quite an interesting experience. Yeah, I heard the questions, and they didn't feel uncomfortable at all.